What's up, guys? How's it going? Yuri Elkaim here. Okay, so I'm gonna answer a question for you guys today. What's the deal with intermittent fasting? How should it be done? And what are some ways that you can really harness the benefits of intermittent fasting, especially as it pertains to really multiplying the effects of what you're doing with your exercise from a fat loss perspective? So what I want to share with you here is something I talk about extensively in my best-selling book, The All-Day Fat Burning Diet, but I recently had a question from one of our YouTube subscribers who was a little bit confused about intermittent fasting and wasn't really sure about how to do it, when to include food or beverages and stuff like that. So I want to answer that question in this video. And actually, just before we get into that, I just finished the morning run down by a beautiful Lake Ontario down here in Toronto, and I'm about 5 minutes away, living up kind of that way. But anyways, so here's the deal, guys. Intermittent fasting is essentially a period of time where you don't have any food. Now, the cool thing is that during intermittent fasting, you can have water, you can have herbal tea, but you want to think about restricting calories. So no cream, no sugar, anything you're thinking of that's going to add calories into the body, fish oil, stuff like that. You want to kind of save that for later. Intermittent fasting is essentially a period of no caloric consumption. And the benefit is that it gives your body a chance to do what it's supposed to do in terms of healing, regeneration. It's a process known as autophagy, where the body spends its own energy to go throughout the body and break up immune complexes, recycle damaged cells, repair what needs to be repaired, and kind of like cleans out the junk. It's very similar to, being able to take the trash out of your house and leaving it on the front for the garbage man to pick up. That's what you are allowing your body to do when you don't eat food. Because there's two states in the body. There's a fed state and a fasted state. Now, you're in a fed state when you've had something to eat, or for several hours after you have. And during that time, the body really only has a finite amount of energy to be able to do stuff. And what that means is that if you're having a big meal, well, guess what? Most of your body's energy is going to be diverted towards digesting that meal. So it's not going to be able to use more of its energy for all those things I just mentioned. And here's the cool thing from a fat loss perspective. Fasting has been shown to have tremendous benefits for your ability to burn fat. Now, it kind of makes sense, right? I'm not going to go into the science and the different enzymes that are involved here, but if you just think about it, if your body is not consuming food, then where is your body getting energy from? Its own energy reserves, right? And because fat is the most dense form of energy, it holds 9 calories per gram compared to 4 calories per gram when we look at carbohydrates and protein. It is the body's most rich source of fuel. So by not eating, you give your body a chance to tap into that fat, to break that down as a fuel source for just existing, walking around, going through your day. And now here's the benefit with exercise, is that if you exercise, and I talk about this again in the All-Day Fat Burning Diet, if you exercise in a fasted state, especially at an intensity that really gets you huffing and puffing. You can tell I'm having a bit of a tough time breathing here. I don't know if it's allergies or I just went for this pretty intense run followed by some meditation. I'm still kind of recovering. But you want to be at a point where you're huffing and puffing, and what that's going to allow your body to do is it's going to start increasing or releasing catecholamines, which are basically adrenal hormones like epinephrine or adrenaline. And those hormones are going to go to your stored fat and signal to break down that fat into its building blocks, glycerol and free fatty acids. Now, that's as technical as I'm going to get. Basically, those free fatty acids are then going to be metabolized and converted into a form of energy. So when you exercise without eating beforehand, you allow your body to tap into more of its own fat reserves. And I'm just going to take a little walk with you here because I don't want to get too stiff here. But the beautiful thing is that you allow your body to tap into that natural kind of energy that it has. And you do so much more effectively than if you had food beforehand, right? If you had something to eat, your blood sugar would go up and your insulin would go up, and then now your body is storing calories as opposed to burning them, because that's what insulin does. So anyways, that's kind of the general understanding of intermittent fasting. We know that from animal studies that eating less is one of the only proven ways to extend lifespan. So in general, eating less is actually really, really good for your body. And I'm not saying you should deprive yourself and count calories, but doing an intermittent fast, so a fast once a week, is extremely beneficial. So I'm gonna give you a couple ideas here. So one of the ways that we can do a fast is we can have dinner at night, And after about 2 or 3 hours, we can say, okay, I'm gonna start my fast at this point. So let's say you have dinner at 6 o'clock or at 4 o'clock like I do with the kids, like early bird special. So let's say by about 8 o'clock, you're digested, you're in a fasted state more or less. 8 o'clock, you don't have any food until the next day. You go to bed at whatever time you go to bed, you wake up in the next morning, let's say it's 8 o'clock, now you've done a 12-hour fast. So the research shows that the real benefits of fasting start to kick in at about 16 hours. So if you can make it till lunch, you've now done a 16-hour fast. Now, breakfast is essentially, if you look at the word breakfast, it's break fast, isn't it? So do you have to have breakfast first thing in the morning? No. A lot of times my breakfast is at 2 in the afternoon. That's because I break my fast usually mid-afternoon. I'll usually go for about an 18 to 20 hour fast when I'm doing a fast. Don't worry about getting to 24 hours. Don't beat yourself up if you make it to 22 and a half and you didn't make it all the way. The whole idea here is just to give your body a breather from having to digest food all the time. So let's say you do 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, whatever it might be. You want to be drinking water throughout this period of time because it allows your body to stay hydrated and flush away all that stuff that it's working through. So water is always very important. And then what you want to do when you break the fast is essentially look at, okay, well, what's the best thing to have? Well, honestly, it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to suggest having burger and fries, but if you want to kind of ease yourself back into some food, a nice smoothie or a juice, not like Tropicana, but like a green juice or something like that is a great option. But honestly, if you have to have a bigger meal, that's totally fine as well. So that's a simple way of doing an intermittent fast. A lot of people practice what's known as a 16-8 type of fast, where they basically eat 8 hours, fast 16 hours. So it ends up being a very similar type of protocol. But again, the whole idea here, guys, is not to get caught up on the technicalities, on the specifics. It's to simply give your body a break. And honestly, even if you don't do a full fast, the key, and this is something, again, I talk about this in the book, is you want to get to the point where you can allow, where you can honor your body. You can basically understand, get to the point where you understand, hey, I'm hungry, I'm gonna have some food. Or you know what, I'm not hungry, I don't need to eat, it's all good. Even if it's 7 in the morning and I don't eat for 5 hours until 1 in the afternoon, it's all good. Actually, that'd be 6 hours. I think I got my math off. So, hopefully that answers the question. When it comes to like lemon water, apple cider vinegar, herbal teas, you can include those kind of things in your 1-day fast if you want to. And if you're breaking the fast, then you can, again, you can break it with water. You can, well, not really water, but drinking water through it, but break the fast with whatever you like, as long as it's relatively healthy. But here's the other cool thing, guys, is that intermittent fasting almost negates, it almost makes up for the fact that your diet might not be the best. And I should use the word best very loosely, because there is no best diet. There's no perfect way of eating. The idea here is to eat in a way that works well for you, that's not fanatical, that doesn't stress you out, that you enjoy, and that's relatively healthy. But even if, like me, you had pizza for dinner last night, or if you go out for, you know, burger and fries, which occasionally happens, or something else, the beautiful thing about fasting is that it kind of does a lot of the damage repair, if you want to think of it that way. So you don't have to stress about, you know, killing yourself in the gym, or, you know, beating yourself up for not being perfect. Intermittent fasting is really the magic pill, and it's free. All right, guys, it has the exact same effects on your body as deep sleep and high intensity exercise in short bouts. So I hope that answers some of your questions with respect to intermittent fasting. If you guys want a more kind of succinct follow along protocol, I'd strongly suggest picking up my book, The All-Day Fat Burning Diet, where I walk you through my proprietary 5-day food cycling formula that will help speed up your metabolism to really burn fat 24/7. And on that note, I want to thank you so much for joining me. You should be sure to subscribe to the channel. There should be a button somewhere around this video. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Keep up the awesome work. I'll talk to you soon.